So, students, today we are starting our new chapter, light, shadows, and reflections. Okay, in this chapter, you know that we read about the light, different type of lights, okay, and their shadows, and how light reflect. Okay, so these things we have to understand in this chapter. So first, from introduction, we will start that we see so many objects around us, as you know. On the way to school, we see things like buses, cars, cycles, trees, animals, and sometimes flowers. How do you think we see objects? Okay, so these are different type of objects. Whatever you see nearby around, if you are in your home, okay, you are able to see different type of uh, uh, things, okay, around you. So how can we see these objects? Okay, so you have to think of the some places at night time. If it were completely dark, what will you see? Suppose you are going inside a completely dark room, are you able to see any objects in the room? No. Okay, so if you go to a dark room, okay, or darker one side where there is no light, you can say you are not able to see anything. Okay, so but when you light a candle or a torch, you can see the objects present in the room, is not? Okay, it, yes, of course, without light things cannot be seen. Light helps us to see objects. Okay, so mainly light is the thing by which we can see the different type of objects. Okay, only because of light, because light is reflect to our eyes, then we are able to see the things. Okay, so when you go to a dark room, so you have to take torch with you. Okay, and nowadays mobile with us. Okay, because in this torch already available. So these are things we have to use if we go to the dark room, because there is no light. So for seeing the things we have to uh, need light. So that's why we use different, you can say, the instrument to see the objects. So the torch bulb, if you see, the torch bulb is an object that gives out light of its own. Okay, torch bulb gives its own light. Okay, the sun is another familiar object that gives its own light. Okay, sun, you, as you know, which is the ultimate source of energy for Earth. Okay, so it gives us light also. So during the day, its light allows us to see the object. Okay, during daytime, you can see that we are have seen different type of objects without light. Okay, without any artificial light, you can say, because sun help us to see the things. Objects like the sun that gives out or emit light of their own are called luminous objects. So now the term is coming luminous objects. So you have to understand this, that the objects, okay, like sun or the bulb, which have their own light, okay, which have emit their own light, are called luminous objects. Okay, so what about objects like a chair, a painting, or so what about objects like a chair, a painting, or a shoe? Okay, we see these when light from a luminous object like the sun, a torch, or an electric light falls on these and then travels towards our eye. Okay, so non-luminous, you can see the example, very easy example are there. Okay, these are chair, shoe, okay, painting, anything. Okay, which has when we are not able to see them in dark, so you can say that they are non-luminous objects. Okay, so now we will read about the transparent, opaque, and translucent objects. So you have to recall your grouping objects, okay, as opaque, transparent, or translucent in the chapter 4. Okay, this is your chapter number 4, sorting material into groups. Okay, if we see throw an object at, okay, all, it is an opaque object. Okay, as a glass, okay, simple example. Okay, it is transparent. If you are able to see clearly through an object, it is called light to pass. Okay, it is allowing light to pass through it and is transparent. Okay, if you can see clearly through an object, okay, suppose there a glass is present here. Okay, there is a tumbler is here, so you can see through it. Okay, and light can be passed through it, so it is an opaque, sorry, it is an transparent object. There are some object, okay, through which we can see but not very clearly. Okay, so when we are not able to see clearly from any object, it is known as translucent. Okay, as you already do an activity of in chapter 4, okay, of seeing through the paper. Okay, when you rub into a it into a just you can say fat some on it. Okay, paneer and other things, cheese. Okay, you can when you rub on it, okay, you want to try to see from it. Okay, this is an example also observing object that do or not allowing light or pass through them. Okay, so it is an example of translucent. Okay, so what you have to see, that some activity you have to do now, that you can take eraser, plastic scale, whatever present around your self this time. Okay, pen, pencil, notebook, single sheet of paper, okay, tracing paper. So you have to see from that them. Okay, so is light from a far away object able to travel to your eye through any of the object? Okay, so you have to record your observation. Okay, sometimes your you can say that very far from far. Okay, the objects able to travel to your eye also, so you have to find out these objects also. Okay, so you have to record your observation in 11.1, okay, which we discuss now. So we see that a given object or material could be transparent, translucent, or opaque. Okay, depending on whether it allows light to pass through it completely, partially, or not at all. Okay, so if it pass through light completely, it is transparent. Okay, it is partially translucent, and not, if it not pass there, it is opaque. Okay, so now there is some examples. So in case of pencil, you can see that it's not at all you have to fill here. Okay, because from pencil not possible to see any object through it, so it is an opaque. ओके, सिंपल है, बहुत ही सिंपल है, ओपेक में ही आ जाएगा। ठीक है आपका। रबर बॉल, रबर बॉल से भी हम नहीं देख पाएंगे, तो नॉट एट ऑल यहाँ पे भी आएगा और ये भी एक ओपेक हो जाएगा। Sheet of writing paper. Okay, sheet of writing paper, actually when there is no rubbing of any other things like fats. Okay, so it is in can be act as a opaque, or partially you can write here. Okay, partially you can write here, and it can be written as translucent. Okay, translucent you have to write. Okay, so now we will move to the what exactly are shadows.